Here are my top 5 things Granblue Fantasy Relink needs to add. Here are some crucial things that'll help the quality of life for Granblue Fantasy Relink. I've been playing the game for over 100 hours now at the very least, so I can feel a little bit certified with game experience alone. Very first thing on my list, no surprise to anybody, I want a transmute all knick-knack voucher button. It's super annoying to have to constantly tap onto the screen if you are ever at max knick-knack vouchers. This overall process is honestly a bit jarring for an action RPG. I'm not saying every element in the game has to be fast. However, if you ever hit 99 knick-knack vouchers, you're basically frozen. Hitting the A button like Lancelot just froze you to squeeze out more DPS. They can make it share the same elements as the Curios appraising screen, where as soon as you appraise your Curios, it appears all of the sigils or all of the stuff you got on one screen. If you're doing 99, if the max is 99 and it's too much, you can make it 500 to 500 if that helps the game, if that makes it easier. For number 2 on my list, let us be able to look up sigils, because once you get around to the end game, you have multiple copies of the same sigils, which make finding specific sigils that you want so much harder. Even though we have a filter based system with attack, defense, special, etc., allowing players to type, for example, link together, and then have all the link together sigils appear, that'll make building multiple loadouts and characters so much easier instead of mindlessly scrolling through the long list of sigils. To further piggyback onto this idea, wherever there are sections in the UI that allow you to scroll for a material/sigil, let's allow the players to type to find the material easier. That just would be an overall benefit of life change that I'm sure everyone will love. Number 3 on my list is honestly more character dependent, but overall the character UI should be so much better. For example, Narmaya, you should be able to see your butterfly stacks by your UI, by your HP, or by your skill UI HUD. For Catalina, Ares gauge is so weird. I'm not sure if this was just an oversight or if it's working as intended, but Catalina's whole gameplay loop is about getting Ares as fast and efficient as you humanly can. However, if you are completely empty on the Ares gauge, but if you do a combo finisher and you get to like not halfway but just at the mark of right before halfway, and let's say you do a link attack or like do anything that would give you Ares gauge, you are basically capped out at halfway, and then you can continue to progress onto the Ares bar. But honestly, it could very well be just a skill issue on my end, but it feels so unnecessary to have that kind of mechanic stuck on Catalina for someone who already, not like she struggled, but she already worked so much harder than everyone else, and it just feels kind of frustrating when you're just trying to get Ares up and then you have to find a way to make your rotation faster, so then if you get link time, you get link time when you already crossed the halfway margin on the Ares gauge. If you guys are liking this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because if you are liking the content, it helps me so much more. But let's get right back into the video. I just wanted to preference, I love Granblue Fantasy Relink. However, I think it's strictly bad for the only endgame quest loop to only be bosses. For number 4 on my list, I would love for the game to have more horde based content instead of just bossing. I believe that could add a new gameplay spice that the game could very much enjoy. Don't get me wrong, the bosses are amazing, but only having boss quests can be pretty much lame. An endless mode similar to Honkai Star Rail's equivalent to Stimulated Universe, where there's multiple rooms that you and your team clear through, and there's a time limit to see how many rooms you can clear through, just for example, and then get rewarded at the end of the run. That promote a different gameplay style, which is just straight up ad control. Anything wrong, I just feel like if you have ad based content, that means new skills are gonna have more use because maybe a certain skill isn't good against bossy. However, if it's good against mobbing content, then you could have a reason to have a boss loadout and then a ad clean loadout, which would just overall make the game feel much more fresher. Number 5 is more of a cosmetic version, a cosmetic thing. But in Granblue Fantasy Versus, the fighting game, you can come to this crane game and then you are able to, well, if you're lucky in this one, as of right now you can see I don't have any colors, but you are able to unlock colors just from playing with through coins. And you can see on the bottom right I have 5,000, so if I wanted to, I spend 50 coins and then I can pick one of the orbs. You know, it's a crane game, but there should be something like that for Granblue Fantasy Relink. Maybe even through the curio system. Once you get a color in the curio, then you just always have it, it'll never appear again, and you get it for every character. So let's say they add like color 7. Once you get color 7 in the curio, you get color 7 for every future character. And let me go through the training real quick so you guys can see, if you haven't played the fighting game, how much color you can have. So there's at least a total of 22 different colors, and you can see for Catalina she has her default, since she has this and she has that, and it's just, I feel like cosmetic is just a cool thing that a game should have, and it shouldn't be limited to only paid options. If you want to have paid skins, cool, but the colors shouldn't be free. So I'd rather have a world where we just have all the colors and then we pay for skins. For example, for one crazy reason they add a Normaya skin. Let people be able to buy the Normaya skin, but then just let us have the colors. Like, you should definitely have skins in this game for sure. Like, skins would just, as long as they're not like overly pricey or like too crazy. I don't think no one really hates skins as long as they do it right. Even though Relink doesn't have a battle pass, they can still find a way to, if they want to monetize, they can have skins for sure. And with that being said, I hope you guys I was originally only going to be giving my top 5, but since I love this game so much, I really want to throw in another thing that I would love to get fixed in Granblue Fantasy Relink, and that is the camera/lock-on feature. As you can see in the clip that I'm showing, I was just doing a boss battle with my AI, and I am actively trying to fight the boss while my camera is not working with me. Like, it is so hard to actively fight against some of these bosses, although I will give them benefit of doubt. I am doing a 3-man boss. Usually it's kind of better if the boss is solo, but if there ever is a boss with multiple bosses, the camera does not know what to do, and I am actively trying to counteract it with moving my right analog stick. They should just really make the lock-on system, like, I don't know how, like, the lock-on system promotes you not to use it because of how rigid and bad it is. Because coming from Genshin Impact, I do know blah blah Genshin Impact, but they have their lockdown system is not terrible. Like, you can actively like attack and then the camera like kind of flows with you in the lock, and the targeting is just decent. But however, if there's things that I said that were different from what you think, I will have a link down below so you guys can post your own feedback, because as a community we have to be giving side games constructive criticism so then they know what to do to upgrade their game to make it even better. That being said, it's your boy Daitai signing out. Deuces.